Revenge. Revenge. The last two meetings without Jermaine O'Neal against Milwaukee. Both games going down to the final minutes. The Bucks winning both of those. They went through a stretch where they lost 9 of 11, and the 2 wins were against Indiana. And for Milwaukee tonight, this is their 4th and final game of a road trip that started Wednesday in Orlando with a win, a loss in Houston Friday, a loss in Dallas Sunday. Those 2 games losing by 15 and 19 points. And they know they're going to have a handful with the Pacers, especially with O'Neal back, and he goes right to work.
Well, they get it down to him on the block, and you can expect to see a lot of that. Gazarich, really more of an active defender, may get up periodically to block shots, but I think Jermaine can handle that position quite well.
Pacers very fresh. They've had 4 days off since their last game. And that was last year, 2004. Michael Redd cans the first shot for the Bucks. He had 39 in a victory against Chicago a week and a half ago. O'Neal walks in, gets it, and there's the foul. That's something that Gazarich did not have to contend with in the first 2 games, so he was able to run amok against this Indiana team.
In addition to that, this is the same play they run to the other side, Al. You can see Gazarich was late because he wasn't expecting that play to be run. He switched it on the first play. The second play, he fell asleep. Jermaine got behind him, and Gazarich had to foul.
Jermaine O'Neal, the 31 against the Nets on Thursday, and 15 points out of the gate in the first quarter. That in celebration of the judge's decision that afternoon, upholding the suspension reduction. And Jermaine O'Neal is now back for the remainder of the season. So it's O'Neal 4 and Michael Redd 2 in the opening minute. Mo Williams, who came out of Alabama after sophomore season, 2nd round pick by Utah, signing as a free agent this year for the Bucks. 4 seconds to shoot. Williams lets it fly.
Really kind of a pleasant find. They lost T.J. Ford, and they think they may have lost him for the season. He had spinal cord surgery. They thought he might get back, but they pick up Williams, and he has not missed a beat on the inside.
Joe Smith, no contest. Jermaine O'Neal running wild here in the opening minute and a half. All 6 Pacer points already. Terry Porter will make a change. The youngster, Zaza Pachulia, will be coming in shortly. Michael Redd in front of the rim, snatched down by O'Neal. Jamal Tinsley picked up by Williams, walks by him. Reggie Miller at 32 on this floor against Milwaukee. And Gazarich just happened to be where that errant pass was.
The Jet was cutting to the basket open and didn't really look.
Williams threading it through for the 2nd consecutive time. Came out after his sophomore season. He's backed up by Mike James, trying to carry the load in the absence of the speedster T.J. Ford, who could be out for the season. Tinsley sets up O'Neal over Smith. Swish.
You know, that was reminiscent, if you will, of the way you see post-up when Mark Jackson used to post. He would force you to have to come and double, and Rick Smits used to be the shooter. Jermaine showing he could make that shot, and Jamal making that play.
Jermaine O'Neal looking to make up for those 15 games lost. Here's Williams on the fly. He's stripped there by Jermaine O'Neal, who is all over the place, and makes the save off of Williams. And the crowd responds to the play of number 7, Jermaine O'Neal. Just his 13th game of the season. Since he's returned in the last 4, he's been averaging 23 points and 10 rebounds. He may be going for that 23 points in this first quarter. 8-6, Pacers on top of the Bucks. Indiana looking for their first win in their 3rd game against Milwaukee this year. Milwaukee last season took 3 of the 4. Reggie is online, and it's Williams who is then fouled by Jamal Tinsley. So Tinsley has his first foul. The 3 officials tonight, Quinn, it's interesting to note that 2 of them, Ron Garretson and Tim Donaghy, the last time Pacers saw Ron and Tim, November 19th in Detroit. Along that night with Tommy Nunez Jr. Tony Brown working tonight's ball game. Desmond Mason unable to hold on, so the Pacers get the ball back. Indiana's won 3 in a row. Mason in the starting lineup. The absence of Keith Van Horn, who has a tendonitis of the right ankle. And he has missed 15 games already. It's a loose ball foul, and it's against the feisty one, a little bit too feisty for Ron Garrettson.
Well, Foster gets the foul, but Jamal makes a heck of a move, and this is a layup.
So Foster resets. He is playing his 12th game of the year. His first 2 games back off of the hip surgery, those 2 against Milwaukee. Unable to do what he would like to do tonight. Oh, that's a late call on Michael Curry, who thought he got all ball, and he complains. Now, if you're the president of the Players Association, you carry any additional weight with the officials?
No, you really don't. And I think what happened to him, he gets called on the first. Watch it the first. See, he gets there, and he makes contact. He felt like he got all ball, but at any rate, that one looks like it is a foul, even though it may not have been.
Backing away, says Curry. How about Michael Curry steps in the starting lineup 3 games, Pacers are 3-0?
Because he gives you intangibles. He understands how to play Al. He understands how to pull people together. He's won every place he's been, played for Rick and Kevin O'Neal, both in Detroit. And then in Toronto, he was on the staff, on the team with Kevin O'Neal. They know him, and they know he's a good locker room guy.
And there's also a tangible tied to that. Jermaine O'Neal has also returned over the last 3 games. And here is O'Neal, again working on Smith. He thought there was a foul, and there is the call. Tim Donaghy making this one also. And it's against Joe Smith. So here in the early going, Joe Smith and Dan Gedzerich having their hands full, with the Pacers just working it to Jermaine O'Neal. And Terry Porter has made the switch to join Joe Smith up front. Is the 20-year-old Zaza Pachulia, who's just a ball of energy, wrapped into a frame of 6'11", 265.
He was a big part of why the Pacers struggled in the game, particularly in Milwaukee, because of his size and physical presence. If he gets too physical, I think with this lineup, he will get himself in foul trouble, as did Gedzerich.
A quiet, a hush at the Fieldhouse, and O'Neal comes through. Jermaine O'Neal with all 10 of the Pacer points, and we have yet to play 4 minutes. So, of course, at this rate, he may be threatening Wilt Chamberlain's single-game performance. Reggie Miller gets the step. Foster swings it to Curry, tells Foster to get inside.
You got Jermaine on the other side, one-on-one. Bang! And that's because the ball got swung and all the action was on the strong side, the right side. Jermaine's on the left or the weak side. I mean, and it's one-on-one. Joe Smith. Joe Smith cannot guard Jermaine there.
At this pace, it's a 120-point night ahead for Jermaine O'Neal. So do not leave the TV set tonight. History in the making. Red cuts in with the left hand, no. Scrambling for the rebound. Curry gets in there to pop it loose. And the reset of the shot clock.
Jermaine changed that shot that Red thought he would get freely. Didn't happen the first couple of games the Pacers played. No inside presence.
Stop and pop for Williams, way off.
Yeah, that's not the way he plays. He's going to shoot that one. He'll miss more than he'll make.
Jermaine O'Neal 12, the Bucks 8 in the first 5 minutes, and a quick foul outside. Maurice Williams has to dig in against the man of many moves, Jamal Tinsley. Pacers' next home game will not be until January 14th, when the red-hot run-and-gun Phoenix Suns, Amari Stoudemire, coming off the 50-point ball game, comes in town. Lone appearance. Tinsley again going to work on Williams. And Williams is flying, and he could go coast to coast. Staying with him was Jermaine O'Neal. But he sets up Red. And Tinsley gets in front of Williams. A little battle going on there at the point guard spot. And now it's Tinsley's turn to make it happen.
They're going to call it jump ball? Yeah. They were either going to call jump ball or traveling, because Reggie tried to throw it through traffic, and it never made it.
So Reggie sets at the foul line. He'll jump against Pachulia, who goes at 6'11".
Well, they actually gave Reggie a break, because he came down. They got to reset the 24-second clock. It doesn't get reset unless the Bucks get it. Then it goes back to 24. It stays to the 13 if the Pacers get it.
Reggie with 32 against the Bucks here at Conseco Fieldhouse, including a blistering 19-point fourth quarter, bringing the Pacers back from 11 down. But then in his shootout with Michael Redd happened to hit the last three-pointer with 7 seconds to go to win it. And now the confusion.
Well, Jermaine is trying to get an offensive position, but if Pachulia gets this, Williams is gone. See, that's what he was trying to do. And Jermaine had it, and that's what the bench was trying to tell him.
Oh, a strip by Tinsley, and it's clean. Fast break, Indiana. Reggie shoots. Reggie, off the rim and back the other way. Reggie,
this is a speed trap you got to be careful of, because this is the way they prefer to play.
So in the end, it turns out to a Milwaukee Buck fast break basket. Bucks don't have that inside option, so they do like the defense to get that offense running, some easy shots. O'Neal the reverse, and he's either scoring or getting to the foul line. And this call against Pachulia, who has his first out of the Republic of Georgia. Second-round draft pick for Orlando, played there last year, and then picked off the expansion list by Charlotte and traded to the scorecard on the Pacers side of the ledger so far. 13 points for the Pacers, and there it is flashing, all 13 off the fingertips of Jermaine O'Neal, who has had his career high of 39 this year against Philadelphia, 31 in his last game against the Nets. He's almost halfway there, and we still have 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Williams squirts inside and then releases to Mason for the turnaround, and off the glass, Desmond Mason, who thought he would be in the running for the six-man award, but he's turned out to be starting 18 of the 27 games. Numbers in the 4 games since his return from what turned out to be a 15-game suspension. A little rusty that first game against Detroit. Got the double-double against New Orleans, 24 and 17 against Charlotte, and then 15 of his 31 points came in the first quarter against New Jersey. So far 14 in the first quarter, and we're just about halfway gone here against Milwaukee, and he's calling for the basketball again.
Hell, I got to figure out, are they ever going to double? If they don't double, Jermaine, I mean, he missed that shot, but he can get that all day.
First shot he has missed after making his first 5. But with all that Jermaine O'Neal is doing at one end of the floor, basket here, and the Bucks have tied the game.
Still not all bad, because as you well know, you got all the Pacers that got a chance to get in the game. I understand you make a solid point because it is tied, but you can get somebody else involved in the game. Reggie hadn't made a shot, and I look for him to be a little more active.
14 apiece, 5 minutes on the nose remaining in the first. Al Albert with the mighty Quinn Buckner, Stacey Pates here at Conseco Fieldhouse, and it took over. So that leaves Pachulia and Joe Smith, possibly Zendon Hamilton, to try to deal with Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, you talk about somebody's tired. He's looking for a little bit of a breather.
Well, all he's done so far is squeeze 17 points into 8 minutes of play. Rick Carlisle making some moves, but remains with Jermaine on the floor. David Harrison now replaces Jeff Foster, and Freddie Jones checks in for the first time. O'Neal from deep. O'Neal 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line. 17 points to go along with 14 rebounds. And Pachulia, a gift there on the foul. He was all alone for the easy bucket, and the Pacers give him an extra shot at the line.
I mean, where you can't fall asleep is on the defensive side of the ball. Red makes a nice play in the paint, and Harrison comes over. The help doesn't come to help the helper on the backside, so Pachulia gets a basket and a foul. Take a look at his numbers. And
that's a recent 3-game win streak.
That's what I was going to say, but you take a look at him, and as you recall, I mean, he's a big body. He has a better feel, a better understanding of how to play, I think, right now than does David Harrison. But I think Harrison may, in the long run, be a better player.
Game is tied already for the 6th time in this first quarter. Zaza Pachulia, who played pro for 4 years in Turkey from the age of 15 to 19.
How about that?
Former Pacer Eric Strickland, the veteran. Michael Redd hardly knew he was on the floor. Leaves with just a field goal. He had 18 Sunday against Dallas in the previous 4 games. It averaged 29 a game, so comes in hot. O'Neal, tough angle, and he's got that one.
Nice job going away from the double team, because Strickland was coming for the double. Jermaine went to the baseline side.
Well, the last time these two teams met here, Reggie Miller had 19 in the 4th quarter to close it out. Right now, Jermaine O'Neal has 19 in the 1st quarter, but we still have 3 minutes to go. Mason, and O'Neal climbs for the rebound.
Got his own game going out here. He's 19 and 5 already. I mean, that's a game's worth right there.
He may have the double-double. He may have a 20-10 in the 1st quarter. He's going for it. Now the release, baseline jumper. And still the Bucks with a tying strike here with James walking in. Mike James on the floor to replace Maurice Williams, and he goes to work. Won a title last year with Detroit, although he started the season in Boston after a couple of years in Miami for a guy who was undrafted. Played in Europe, played in the CBA. Joe Smith trying to stay with Jermaine O'Neal as well as Zaza Pachulia. The foul will be on Smith, so he has picked up his 2nd.
Hi. Do you really want to hurt me?
And the Pacers over the last 5 games have actually had the full complement of 12 players dressed. That makes it 6 times this season. But tonight, they've only needed 1. Jermaine O'Neal going to town. They're early against Gadzarich, getting the pass inside to get the step. Very active O'Neal, who's had 4 days off after the very trying, emotional day and night Thursday in New Jersey, and getting his freedom for the rest of the season. And now Jermaine O'Neal working up the sweat, but looks like he may be going the distance in this 1st quarter. The numbers just staggering. Smoking in the 1st quarter. And the rest of the team will have 3 other quarters to get involved.
Exactly, to make it up.
Well, he scored the 19 points, and the other 2 by Jeff Foster. Those were assisted by Jermaine O'Neal, so he has had his hand on every point here in this 1st quarter, but still, it's a tie ball game. Jermaine O'Neal 5 of 7 from the foul line. He's played 12 games. He's been in double-doubles in 6 of those. Last year, 44 double-doubles. Cooling off at the foul line. Now the Bucks looking to take the lead for the first time. Mike James with Eric Strickland in the backcourt. Marcus Fizer, number 21, has checked in for Milwaukee. And a foul is called on Fred Jones. Well, Pacers stretch run 5-game ticket packages are now available. Each package contains 2 tickets to 5 Pacer games. See the Pacers take on LeBron James, Shaq, and others. Prices start as low as $100, and there's the phone number to call. And you can hear the crowd applauding the Pacers' 5-game ticket package, as well as Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine just happened to be in that process. But one of the things you were alluding to, Al, and I agree with you, is offensively the Pacers have to find their rhythm, because it was all Jermaine. And now that he's off the floor, Jamal's responsibility is to find out who's in the best position to get it going and get that person the ball, and then get everybody else involved in the game.
So meanwhile, after all he has done in the 1st quarter, he sits on the bench, looks at the scoreboard, and sees his team down by 1. Tinsley with Crozier comes in fresh. Freddie Jones. Johnson, a good look. Got it.
Nice job of penetrating the zone, because they went zone a little bit right there.
Anthony Johnson, he's been able to finally take off that protective glove on the shooting hand. That's where he broke the bone. And looking to get into the shooting groove. He has not had it so far this season. Only 35% from the floor. James, a 3-point threat. And Crozier gets the inside track. Crozier off a big night in New Jersey Thursday. 17 points in just 18 minutes. Now Harrison going to work on Pachulia, who gave him trouble in Milwaukee. Harrison with that soft touch for a big man.
He shoots that a little bit going up, so he gets a bit of a touch. But Pachulia may be the right kind of guy for him to play against, since he's now understanding Pachulia are playing physically, and basically David is a physical player.
Tinsley, the move on the high jumping Mason.
Yeah, he was making a pass.
Tinsley finds Crozier. He's going.
We talked about Tinsley finding the people. He found Austin Crozier running out.
And the Pacers now match their biggest lead right after Milwaukee had moved in front for the first time tonight. Chris crossed by James. Mason tries again from afar. Mason earlier in his career criticized for the fact that he was just a slasher and a dunker, didn't have an outside game. The Bucks, I think, now would like to see him take the ball a little more on the drive inside. Everything's coming from the perimeter.
Yeah, he was a poor shooter at Oklahoma State. He actually was a defensive player and a slasher at Oklahoma State, but he's developed a jump shot and a little reluctant to get in the paint.
Tinsley off balance.
Boy, he got hit in the head.
And there'll be 3 seconds left for Milwaukee's last attempt. And you see who helped Tinsley up. That was Marcus Fizer, his former college teammate at Iowa State.
Who hit him across the head.
Right, but if he wasn't his former teammate, he wouldn't have helped him up. Eyes are on Desmond Mason as he sets up in the offensive end. 3 seconds, more than enough time for Milwaukee. And it is in the hands of James, who quickly gets it to Kendall Gill. And that shot is off range, so it's Kendall Gill, not Mason, looking for that last shot. Jermaine O'Neal, a well-deserved rest after packing the scorecard in the first quarter. Pacers lead by 3, looking for their first win in 3 games. They played a 19 on a pace to score 76 here tonight. If he could, of course, keep up that 19 points a quarter pace. A little difficult right now because he starts second quarter on the bench. Marcus Fizer played his first 4 years in Chicago. Free agent this season, picked up by the Bucks. And he has always been a Pacer nemesis as a Bull. Crozier, a little room. Now it's Anthony Johnson digging inside, and a beauty. So the most aggressive offensive Pacer this evening outside of Jermaine O'Neal has been that man, Anthony Johnson, and happy to get that glove off and looking to make a difference offensively. In the first game here against Milwaukee, without Tinsley playing, Johnson getting plenty of time and dished off for 13 assists. How about that shot by James?
You've got to pay attention to your man. Anthony Johnson on the defensive end fell asleep, having been as active on the defensive end as he's been on the offensive end. You'll see right here, just cut to the lane. And actually, I believe it was Tinsley who lost him as the cut was made by James, who's an outside shooter. So you tend to think that's where he'll stay.
5 points quickly for James. He was the X factor in the Bucks victory in Milwaukee against Indiana. Off the bench, he had 3 threes and scored 16. This game has been tied already 8 times. A Bucks team that comes in with a record of 9 and 18. Harrison looked tough, but he started to make those shots seem easy.
Yeah, he really is under more control than he looks, Al. I agree with you. It looks a lot tougher and a lot more difficult shot to make, but he's very comfortable with that move.
Eric Strickland. This is the 4th game of a 4-game road trip for the Bucks. 1 in Orlando, and they have lost the last 2 in Houston and Dallas. So Fizer off the bench, and Terry Porter getting a lift from his bench tonight. And Fizer, James, and Pachulia tied at 31. Nearly 2 minutes into the second quarter. Pacers bench, along with starter Tinsley, and the steal by James. Tinsley angling in. Oh, and the foul. Tinsley's quickness has been able to keep the Bucks from 2 earlier plays inside, but this time Jamal gets his 2nd personal foul.
Well, you know, Rick may have to make a decision. Jamal is deceptively quick. I mean, when he needs to put on the burners, if you will, he can get there, and that's what happened that time. But Right now, the Pacers got both of their starting point guards out on the floor, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Last year, the Bucks 41-41. Pacers won 61 games. Bucks won 3 out of 4. And this year, here the Bucks 9-18, but have won 2 against Indiana. And here they are leading by 1 in the second quarter. Why have the Pacers have this problem with the Bucks?
Matchups. They got matchups because we talked about it's a quick team and it's a team that can offensive rebound. And one of the other things they do is off the dribble, getting to where they needed to go. They haven't done a lot of it in this game, but that's been a problem for the Pacers, guarding off the dribble.
Long rebound, Crozier, Pachulia and Pfizer keep him away. Jones for the reverse and a beauty. The adventures of Indiana Jones. And Jones, who had carried this team after the Detroit game, but the last couple really struggling. And that's the way to get him back in. A nice driving move that results in success. Boy, Tony Brown calls this one down, and it's
on David Harrison. But here you'll see Fred Jones. He gets up so high, you have to come at him early, and that allows him to get to the other side of the rim. Watch. And that's why Pfizer came on the one side. The other side is left wide open for Freddie to get it off the glass.
Both teams shooting extremely well. Pacers at 58%, Milwaukee at 54%. Pachulia, wild shot, but a foul.
Oh, yeah, he got fouled.
And I believe it's on Tinsley, so that's for the Pacers some bad news. The Maestro gets his 3rd foul in this first half.
He gets caught in a bad spot. He goes down, and watch Pachulia turn back into. Oh, actually, he reached in there, and they got more ball, I thought. I mean, maybe I'm wrong now, but see, and Austin was calling for the foul because he's the one that pushed him and knocked him off balance.
If anybody fouled, it was likely Crozier.
Sure, because he got knocked off balance.
Well, Pacers return to action right here on FSN Midwest Saturday night against Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. Coverage begins Pacer game night at 8 here on FSN Midwest. That's the second game of the 4-game road trip for Indiana. Takes them to San Antonio Thursday, then to Dallas Saturday, Phoenix Sunday, and Memphis on Tuesday. For returning home following Friday against Phoenix. Mike James is called for his first personal foul. The Bucks got off to a 3-1 start this year, then would lose 15 of the next 18 games. Won 3 straight and have since lost 2 straight. And that is how the 9-18 all adds up. Keith Van Horn still out. Tony Kukoc working out before tonight's game, and he's about ready to return for Terry Porter, who needs that veteran desperately. And TJ Ford, he's this week going through a series of tests, has been out after the spinal cord surgery, and the Bucks will find out sometime early next week whether he may be able to return sometime this year, or they just shut it down for the season. Unstoppable inside. First it's O'Neal, and now David Harrison taking over against Milwaukee here the first game a month ago. He hit 6 of 7 for 13 points. He's hit all 3 of his field goals, 6 points in 7 minutes. The veteran Kendall Gill swishes it in from the outside. Gill signing as a free agent. Actually, his first game was that December 7th meeting here against Indiana. 15th season for Kendall Gill. And a foul there is called, and we will pick it up.
He didn't even get to see play earlier in the season when the Pacers faced off against Milwaukee, both here and in Milwaukee. He said both of these guys present such a great challenge. Jermaine O'Neal, because he's such a weapon in the post. Jamal Tinsley presents a whole new challenge because he's a guy that can do so much, whether he's penetrating or finding his men. He can do so much. He's a guy that can score and find anybody, he said. And he said these guys are going to have to really do a lot of things right to get past the Pacers for the 3rd time in a row.
Well, Michael Redd and Jermaine O'Neal are now back on the floor. O'Neal looks to go to work after getting about a 4-minute rest. Nice pass, and Johnson is hammered by Kendall Gill. Gill at 6'5", 215, but he is solid, a former weightlifter, and this summer is working on boxing exercises. He thought his basketball career was over. And at the age of 36, looks like he could probably play another 10 more years in great condition and great shape. But this time he puts Anthony Johnson to the foul line, gives that little jiggle and shake before he releases. In his 8th season out of the College of Charleston. And Anthony Johnson studies.
The little jiggle and shake.
Watch it. There it is. Did you see it? Swish.
Never heard it so aptly described.
And he ties it up at 37. Freddie Jones attaching himself to Michael Redd, 11th leading scorer in the league. Pachulia cut off the save by Gill, but they say it's a backcourt violation.
It is, because when James caught the ball in his effort to establish himself and take off back to the offensive end, he apparently stepped on the line. I didn't see it at first, but
yeah, it looked good to me. Oh no, James stepped on the line. Right.
Stepped on the line. Yes, that's what I said, James.
Okay, which James? James Jones. James Jones.
Yeah.
This is Freddie Jones. O'Neal swings it. Fred.
Oh!
David Harrison was going up for the shot. They still have 8 seconds. No hurry as Johnson. Jermaine O'Neal rises and hits.
That's good basketball. When you can play out of what is a broken play and still be effective in terms of getting a wide open shot, that's very, very good. And obviously knocking it down makes it that much better.
Pacers have O'Neal and Harrison, the two bigs up front, with Johnson, Jones, and Miller. And this is called against Jermaine O'Neal. Just his first personal foul. And here it is again. Broken play, but with Jermaine O'Neal on the floor.
Well, look how wide open that area is. And it was a good job right there by Anthony Johnson to get that screen and roll so you can get Jermaine on the open side. He had time to look at it and knock it down.
He's made 8 of his 11 field goal attempts in 11 minutes of action. 21 points for Jermaine O'Neal. His career high is 39. He had that earlier in the season against Philadelphia. He's also had 33 against New York, 31 against the Nets, 3 times over that 30 mark. He's trying to get there in the first half. Pfizer makes 1 of 2. Terry Porter's looking for the combinations. He may have lost. Dan gets a reach for the evening. Back spasms after playing the first 3 minutes of the game. And Gadzarich has been a Pacer killer this year. The steal by Milwaukee. Crowd wants to travel. Pfizer turnaround, got it.
They would want to travel, but he didn't. It was a bobble, and you're allowed to do that. But the Pacers have got to re-engage themselves in this game, because offensively, you see the Bucks have gone to the zone, and now you got to recognize it and get to your right spot.
Bucks 40 points, 23 off the bench. And that's a defensive 3 seconds against Milwaukee, and that means a technical foul. And Terry Porter knows what that means with Reggie Miller on the floor. He's trying to find out who committed it. And I believe it was Mike James.
No, they call it on Zendon Hamilton.
Oh, Zendon Hamilton then.
You saw the 1-3 up, and it was actually 31 instead of 13.
And only the second foul shot missed of the season in 43 attempts for Reggie Miller. Came in this game shooting 98% from the foul line, 41 of 42. Zendon Hamilton out of St. John's also brings some size off the bench, 6'11", 255. A teammate of Ron Artest at St. John's. Stay there, says Ron Garrettson as he points the finger at Marcus Pfizer. So Terry Porter getting some of his bigs off the bench to try to contend and slow down Jermaine O'Neal.
I think he's feeling at this point he needs to go to plan B.
Plan A wasn't working.
Good play. Oh, good play by Jermaine O'Neal. I mean, a backdoor cut that was read. Pass was delivered to Jermaine, who delivered to Jeff, who got fouled.
And Hamilton has the personal there, his first.
Now Jeff is right there. See him come? And that's Jermaine who finds him. And Zendon Hamilton actually does the thing you probably should do. When you got a guy who is not a great foul shooter looking to get an easy basket, put him on the line.
But there's a footnote to that, as Jeff Foster is waiting for him to make that foul shot. Has now made 7 of his last 8 from the foul line. This is what he did against New Jersey in a hurry in just 26 minutes. Stuffing the stat sheet, including the 4 of 5 from the foul line, swishes that one in. So Jeff Foster now on fire from the foul line. A 1-point lead for the Pacers. And this is on Freddie Jones. Freddie just shaking his head. What's Freddie going through the last couple of games? A guy who carried this team after the fateful night in Detroit. Catching up with him?
Yeah, a little bit, for a variety of reasons. One, Fred had a shoulder surgery, as you recall, and really did not get to condition himself through the summer the way he would have liked to have done. And taking that into consideration, once you start playing and you play heavy minutes, as you and I have talked about before, this is against starters who are major players in this league. It's not against a second unit, and I think it took a lot out of him, and his legs are going to have to bounce back. When you are in shape, you recover faster, and I think part of what Fred's problem is his legs haven't been able to recover as quickly as he'd like them to.
Well, after the Detroit game, the next 6 games, he would play 44 minutes a game and average 20 points per.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of work in this league. You're getting 20 points a game in this league. You've had to work because everybody can play in this league.
James with the hustle. Pfizer. Hamilton keeps it alive. We have certainly seen some broken plays here in the first half at each end of the floor.
He threw that ball at his kneecap.
This is an offensive foul, and Jermaine O'Neal will have number 2.
You know the things to go well for you. Michael Redd, as you said, only 6 points, 2 rebounds, but they got so far some good play off their bench. Zaza Pachulia played well, but Mike James played well, scored the ball pretty well for them, so they were able to look for some other people to get some things going for them, and that's what you look to try to have happen for you in these kind of situations.
There's the steal by Anthony Johnson. Pacers racing, looking for the lead. Jones to Johnson.
Yeah, Fred is going to make the pass that needs to be made, and that's not easy to do on a fast break situation. Gave it right to Anthony in stride, and he finished it with 2-handed.
8-point first half for Anthony Johnson, who's been averaging 6 points a game and helping out that ailing shooting percentage. This is Michael Redd. He has been curtailed in this first half.
This is a team that you can't foul. This team has to shoot jump shots. They don't have anybody in the post out. And on the other end, you got to see, can you take advantage of opportunities? A one-hand bounce pass. You see Redd come late. Anthony Johnson has put it in the basket because he initiated the pass to make Desmond Mason have to turn around.
Mason had 21 in the first victory at Conseco Fieldhouse against Indiana. He's averaging 18 a game. His career average is 12 per ball game. So he is increasing it in this, his 5th season out of Oklahoma State. First round draft pick of Seattle, coming over with Gary Payton in the deal that sent Ray Allen, along with another one, which became Luke Ridenour and Ronald Murray, to Seattle. The thought process ended Hamilton after a brief stint is back on the bench. Maurice Williams back on with Michael Redd. Smith Mason up front with Pfizer.
Yeah, just give Jermaine some space because there's no chance Pfizer can guard him.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal had a fight through Pfizer on that one and may come up with a 3-point play. Pfizer, all muscle, has his second foul, but look how he appeared to have the arms of O'Neal. And Jermaine O'Neal flexing the muscles, showing the power to get by the 6'8", 260-pound Pfizer.
Don't get carried away.
Well, Jermaine is getting carried away here tonight. He has 24 points in the first half. Just ticking under 5 minutes to go. But the Pacers by 2. The biggest lead in this ball game has been 5 points. Mason, stutter step.
Yeah, but right there with him was Fred Jones.
Redd is being smothered. 3 seconds to shoot. Pfizer. And it's cut off by Anthony Johnson. Mason was waiting for it. 2 slam dunk champions versus one another. Air Mason and Indiana Jones.
Just take your time.
O'Neal versus Mason. And that's all he could do.
Yeah, you just take your time because you make them. What you want to do as often as you can, make them have to make the decision and then react to whatever decision they make because they double team, you got a man open. If they don't, they can't guard you.
So Mason at 6'5", 220, left all alone with big Jermaine O'Neal. There's a time remaining, 4:08 to be exact. Second quarter action. And the Indiana Pacers with Jermaine O'Neal back in the lineup, now looking for their 4th consecutive win. Jermaine saying that he looks for the Pacers to create space between the wins and the losses. They were a game under the 500 mark last week. Well, Pacers back home. Not until a week from Friday, Red Hot Phoenix Suns. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster. So you can call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or shop online at Pacers.com. Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Steve Nash, and company.
Nash going over there has really made a difference. Left Dallas. Amari Stoudemire is having a tremendous year, but Steve Nash's ability to get the ball where they wanted to go, needed to go, is the difference.
Leads the NBA in assists, Steve Nash at 11 a game. Jamal Tinsley is at number 4 among the league leaders. Near steal. Pfizer, tough shot.
Yes, he sure did. He fouled it. And I was wondering if the official was going to see it. Anthony's looking in disbelief, but I think he knew he fouled it.
Sharing some of that disbelief, Coach Rick Carlisle, who ventures from his bench.
That's a tough angle to see it from, but I don't think that you're going to see Marcus Pfizer from there shoot it that far from the rim.
So Pfizer, who's dealt with bad knees, debilitating injury, is the 4th pick in the draft. Much of that thanks to Jamal Tinsley, who fed him incessantly at Iowa State to the tune of 23 points a game in his final year there. Michael Curry comes back in. He started the game and now will conclude the first half. O'Neal versus Pfizer, looking for Pfizer to pick up that 3rd foul. Instead, we have a defensive 3 seconds again against the Bucks. This is on Desmond Mason. And Reggie Miller will try to redeem himself at the foul line. Reggie had made his first 29 foul shots of the season, missed one, and was on a 12-in-a-row streak before missing that first tee. That's the first point for Reggie tonight.
Well, that one hit a lot of rim for Reggie.
Miller has had 32 and 17, high man in both games for the Pacers against the Bucks.
And I think he felt like he had to carry a lot of that offensive load and doesn't feel that way anymore. I think you will admit, you will agree that in the transition, if you will, as it went from Reggie to Jermaine, the most patient person may have been Reggie Miller, and I think he's been patient again.
Brad O'Neal has been patient. Reggie Miller had to in those 2 games against Milwaukee Pacers without Jermaine O'Neal or Jamal Tinsley. They've been without Tinsley most of this half. And Tony Brown emphatically calls that foul against Pfizer. So Pfizer on the offensive end gets his 3rd foul.
Well, he tries to set it up, but Reggie comes through now this way. Watch him get his right arm there. And Reggie made sure that there was a call.
And Reggie celebrating that as if he hit a 3-pointer at the end of the game. So the satisfaction for Reggie, he gets Pfizer out of the ball game. And Reggie shaking his head, feeling that he has succeeded, even though he'll sit out the final 3 minutes.
In the team game, he did what he's supposed to do.
O'Neal goes low to try to get it, calls a timeout.
Because he's about to travel.
So timeout on the floor. Pacers have hit 50 already in this first half, but they lead by only 4. 6 points. But still, it is a tight ball game. Milwaukee, the last 5 games, have averaged 104 points per ball game. And over the last 3, the Pacers have given up only 79. Reggie Miller is back in for the final 3 minutes. Jermaine O'Neal
I like that shot better than the rest of it he was taking. I'm sorry, Al.
Milwaukee, though, has kept Foster from doing a number on the boards. Another reason Pacers are shooting 61%, only 1 rebound.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Foster.
Because a lot of his are offensive rebounds.
Just like Pachulia, who misses that one, and that I believe it'll be Pacer ball as Jermaine O'Neal takes a shot. 27 points for O'Neal, and we're still in the first half. His career high is 39. That picked up this year, and Jermaine checking to see if the nose is still in the middle of the face. Taking a shot.
Just on the face.
Jones, Johnson, Miller, along with O'Neal and Foster. Jones, jumper. Back we go the other way. 3 on 4 on 2. Reggie is open. Johnson for 3. And Foster finally gets to his first offensive rebound. O'Neal gets the step on Pachulia. Forget about it.
I mean, he got fouled and they still didn't call it. Jermaine has 29.
A point away from 30 in the first half. Inside 2 minutes. And the Pacers have their biggest lead. Mason studied by Fred Jones. Williams spins. Pachulia can't hold on, and he's called for the kick. So the Pacers now an opportunity to widen this, or are they changing that?
Well, J.O. makes a nice move here and gets fouled by Pachulia, but they don't call it. A little pleased with it. But I think that's because he felt like he got fouled before and they didn't call it.
Well, they said that came off the foot of a Pacer.
Well, I thought that came off Pachulia's foot.
Well, Pachulia, the way some of these calls come out. But instead, Michael Red gets to the foul line. And he'll have a couple of shots. It's on Reggie Miller, his first. Well, Thursday, Pac-10 College Hoops returns to FSN when Arizona takes on Cal. Conference showdown. Coverage begins Thursday, 10:30 Eastern. It's only on FSN Midwest. 8-point first half for Red, who has scored 49 in the first 2 games against the Pacers. High man both nights for Milwaukee. Double team on O'Neal. It doesn't matter as he spins away. Gets his 3rd foul for doing it.
Yeah, I think that at this point, Rick was trying to give him a shot at it. But at this point, he's going to have to take him out because you watch his right arm. It gets up high. There's no doubt about it. Watch. See, once you do that, that arm gets up, that chicken wing, if you will. Once it gets up there, you get exposed.
So Jermaine O'Neal has the greatest half of his career, but has picked up his 3rd personal foul. And now Milwaukee tries to go to work without O'Neal in the picture. Fred Jones busting out for Indiana. Crozier has replaced O'Neal. Final minute of the half. Pacers have played most of the half without Tinsley in foul trouble. Nice catch by Johnson. Reggie Miller, 3-ball, corner pocket, and a fast break for Red.
Basket. Because Red never, he actually, the thing about it is he's chasing a man in the corner, and that's Reggie. And if Reggie misses it, there's nobody to get back.
That's why Reggie Miller was so wide open. Red wasn't even close, but it turns into a bucket and a 2-point game instead of a 7-point lead for Indiana. Miller leaves Red. He's got it, and he's fouled. First field goal for Reggie Miller tonight, and it's a beauty.
And it's an aggressive play. We talked about Reggie. When Jermaine's out there scoring the way he is, there's no need to be aggressive. But here, Reggie is aggressive, knows he has Red beat, very capable of making that shot off the glass, and make sure he gets the shot up and in the basket for the foul.
And a little twist to make sure he hears the whistle at the end of that route. Foster coming out. He has 2 fouls. Michael Curry will come in. 18 seconds left.
Gotta get Fred out too, probably.
With Eddie Gill coming on for Fred Jones. Fred also has the 2 personal fouls. So here, Rick Carlisle taking out some key defenders, but does not want to risk getting a third foul, especially with Jermaine O'Neal and Jamal Tinsley already with 3. Pachulia goes to the bench. And Reggie Miller's only taken 4 shots in the first half. Not that many more shots to go around with Jermaine O'Neal dominating the offense. .29 points in the first half for O'Neal. And the Pacers will try to take that 5-point lead into the locker room. Williams darting inside, and he gets the step, leaves the Pacers with 3.7. And it's in the hands of Gill, lets it fly. And that is a shot of a man who has played just 2 minutes over the last 2 games. So Jermaine O'Neal, a triumph for him, as does Jamal Tinsley. And Desmond Mason works inside for the little hook, and he becomes the Bucks' leading scorer with 11. 1-point lead for the Pacers, trying to crack this Milwaukee jinx. Bucks have won 6 out of the last 7, including the 2 games this year. Jamal Tinsley has not hit a field goal in his brief stint. Foster is pushed away as he fights for that offensive rebound. It was just a 2-rebound half for Jeff Foster, who's been averaging just under 13 rebounds a game and had 16 against the Nets in the last game on Thursday. This foul is called against Joe Smith, so Smith has his 3rd personal foul. Smith and Fizer each with 3 for the Bucks. O'Neal and Tinsley 3 personal fouls to start the second half. O'Neal, quick turnaround. Foster again on the boards.
Well, he got hammered on that one, Al. You were about to say it. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he did. He got hammered.
I was using the word shoved.
Okay.
But both of them lead towards a possible foul being called. Pacers don't get that. But the Bucks hanging around here on the road, concluding a 4-game road trip, and Michael Redd has yet to really feel it. And that basket gives him 12 points. Slow start, but with Redd, he could explode in either half.
At any time.
Bucks with the lead on that shot, so Mason and Redd have come out to hit shots. Miller curls around Pachulia and Redd, and the foul is called on Pachulia, who starts the second half. Dan Gadzarich, who has given the Pacers fits in the first 2 ball games, played the first 3 minutes, had back spasms, reevaluated at halftime, and he is a no-go here in the second half. Meanwhile, we saw David Harrison leave the Pacers bench to the locker room early, but he is back and on the bench ready to go here in the second half. Tinsley has got a lot of energy in him. Off-balance jumper. He fights with Pachulia. Has to watch out, though, for that 4th foul. Now it's Williams who flies by, and O'Neal grabs the rebound. Tinsley unable yet to get into his rhythm because of the foul difficulty. He's averaging 16 points a game, has been under double figures just once in the last 15, and has yet to score, but he's trying hard. Foster gets away with a free shot after that initial foul on Milwaukee, and Pachulia gets another one, so he joins the club with 3 fouls.
This is a bad call. That's why I laughed. Jamal just jumped into it.
And Foster actually fouled Tinsley. First point of the night for Jamal Tinsley, who comes in as the 4th leading assist man in the NBA. He's 3rd in steals. Consider in his first 3 seasons he averaged 8.5 points a game. But still looking for his first field goal. He does have 4 assists in his limited 13 minutes on the floor, and he bumps the Pacers back into the lead.
Good hand by Jermaine, boy. They had a backdoor play, and Michael Redd was wide open.
Maurice Williams lets it fly. And Tinsley able to body Pachulia, goes the length of the court, and O'Neal is, as Quinn would say, yes.
Hammered.
And even Jermaine pointing towards you, saying you got it right, QB.
See, Pachulia comes out, and he had Jermaine, and Jermaine wisely goes to the other end. And you can see, boy, there's no doubt about the foul. Williams got down there, but he got hammered.
Well, there at one end, it's Tinsley taking Pachulia out, and the other end,
Yeah, Williams taking
Tinsley
Jermaine.
taking, yeah. So it leaves Jermaine to the foul line where he is 7 of 11. And without looking through the record books, I think I'm not going out on a limb by saying this is the earliest Jermaine O'Neal has ever scored 30 in a ball game. And it's the 4th time this year he has hit 30 or more.
That just strikes me. The earliest he scored 30.
Well, it's 2.5 minutes in to the second half. And he's at 31 and counting. Red bothered by Reggie, showing him all the moves. Pachulia sneaks inside, and that's what he does best. Very active on the offensive boards. 20-year-old out of the Republic of Georgia in his 2nd season in the league, last year with Orlando. Pacers by 1. No foul. And the hatchet by O'Neal. And his numbers climb to 33, and he gestures to the official, kind of saying, well, thanks for not going for that fall.
He said it. He said, thank good not looking at taking that flop.
Mason looking for the dunk, and now it's Tinsley in traffic.
Uh-oh.
Here is Mason again, perhaps looking for the dunk. And he gets the second shot.
Jermaine had 3, otherwise he probably would have gone for that block.
So the Bucks remain scrappy here, and they stay in this hunt. 61-60.
Can't separate, Al.
Cannot. Pacers trying to separate wins from losses, now 15 and 13, but having the difficulty despite Jermaine O'Neal's power surge here this evening. Takes it in, stops and pops. Again, no foul as he walks right in as several bodies fall. O'Neal now with 35. And we've just begun the second half. Perhaps making a run at Amari Stoudemire, saying when the teams meet in Phoenix on Sunday and back here next Friday, he wants to add another 50-point score to that matchup.
He may be able to do that. I mean, he does a nice job. You see, going down is Mason and just waltzing in is Jermaine. He couldn't have got it much easier than that.
13 of 19 from the field. And there is O'Neal. Now 1 rebound away from a double-double. Heavy on the scoring side.
Heavy on the breathing side, too.
Right now on the floor. Tinsley releases, and he hits. It's a 2. Tinsley swishes in his first field goal of the night, and the Pacers again open it up to 5, but it doesn't stay there for long, as Desmond Mason now starting to get into it. 15 points from Mason, and he has a quick 6 in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Tinsley yo-yos the dribble. O'Neal, Pachulia with the 3. And now it's Pachulia with the 4 personal fouls. That's the 5th foul of the Bucks. Should be foul shots here. And that's what Jermaine O'Neal was wondering as the officials took the ball to the sidelines for an inbound.
Well, he also was making the claim, I'm not sure I disagree with him, that he thought he was in the shooting motion as he was starting into a shooting motion when he first got fouled. But he gets 2 foul shots nonetheless.
All academic as Jermaine O'Neal. Those are his totals for this ball game. 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. And Jermaine O'Neal now 6 points away from his career high. The all-time Pacer NBA high for a game is 57 by Reggie Miller back in 1992, a game in Charlotte against the Hornets. Jermaine had 19 points in the first quarter, slowed down to only 10 in the second. He has already added 8 points in 5 minutes of the third. Mason has had the hot hand to start the second half for Milwaukee. Red.
Good team defense here.
Fade away with the left hand. And Foster runs that one down. And now breaking out Tinsley. He has Miller to the left, who will reset. Not for long. Long rebound gathered in by Michael Curry.
I think Reggie's thinking, wait a minute, somebody's going to shoot threes in that situation. Should it be me?
Why did I pass that one up? O'Neal turns, fades. Foster got a hand on it, and another, and he saves miraculously by Foster.
Good effort there.
And that is a feisty Foster move.
Yeah, that's one that's strictly Jeff Foster.
O'Neal wheels and draws another foul. He's picking up the fouls like flies. This one going against Zendon Hamilton, who is in there replacing Pachulia. We return. Jermaine O'Neal at the foul line looking for his career high.
NBA basketball on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by Hyundai.
2 games out of first place, a game behind Detroit. There is Milwaukee at 9-18 to start the season. In 5th place in the Central Division, although Terry Porter has able to do it against the Central Division, 5-1. The rest of the league is where the difficulty comes in for Milwaukee, having won only 4 of those 21 games. And Porter also dealing with his injury situation. TJ Ford out so far for the season, maybe the rest of the year. Keith Van Horn has been out. He had missed 10 games because of tendonitis of the right ankle and placed on the IL last week for a minimum of 2 weeks, they say. With that foul shot swishing in, Jermaine O'Neal is 1 shy of 40 and has tied his career high of 39. That accomplished earlier in the season against Philadelphia. And he's got a good shot at breaking it with about 18 minutes still remaining in the game. Quick release there by Williams, bad selection, and Curry runs it down. That's part of what Michael Curry does, gets to the loose ball. Pacers have their biggest lead and have possession.
I don't know why you waste much time with it. Look at Reggie, but if I can get it to Jermaine, that's probably where I'm going.
He fakes it, takes it, and makes it. Swishing it in, Reggie Miller, and the Pacer lead now climbs to 9. Second field goal, couple of foul shots, 6 points for Reggie Miller, who's averaging 18 a game. Michael Redd in traffic, and it's blocked by Miller. Foster to Tinsley, racing with Williams. And Tinsley, after that, takes...
Took a little offense to it.
A little offense, yes. With Jamal, you still see a little of the New York street ball, and there's Williams taking a hard foul, and Jamal kind of off balance.
No, there's intention. This is a good call. I mean, the way they're interpreting the rule, this is a good call. Terry Porter's trying his best to get a technical.
It's
because
a
they're saying it, yeah, it's a flagrant, because they're saying it's excessive, and it is excessive. But I guess the question that they're raising is if after the fact it became excessive when Jamal reacted to it.
Which may have been unnecessary. So here is Tinsley with the 2 foul shots. That, by the way, is the 4th personal foul on Williams. And with the flagrant fouls, there will always be discussion.
Yeah, without a doubt, because there's a lot of judgment involved. There's discrepancies, you know, in terms of perspective. I mean, it's a good hard foul, and it's really over. You know what? They got an argument.
Tony Brown in the middle.
Now, he makes a play on the ball. Good hard foul. Now, you could lose him a little bit there.
But Jamal getting in his licks. So the Pacers get 2 points on the foul shots and the ball in their lead now, double figures. Foster is there, found by Curry, but that's going to be on Joe Smith. Initially, it looked as if Foster may be hit. There's an equalizer there, but it doesn't work that way. So Smith has his 4th foul, and right now we are seeing the division in this ball game. The Bucks falling down in double figures, and now 2 of their starters have been hit with their 4th personal fouls. Reggie gets a hand as he leaves. Swishing in that shot. And now Foster back to the foul line, where he misses after a stretch of 8 of his last 9. Well, tonight, home court gift shop game night special. And you know what it is, Quinn?
No, I don't, Al.
The knit headbands, $6. So log on to ConsecoFieldhouse.com, click on to home court, and order as many as you want. There is no limit.
And keep your ears warm with that headband.
Nothing but net. So Foster 4 of 5 from the foul line against the Nets. 3 of 4 tonight against Milwaukee, a 58% foul shooter. Terry Porter sees Pacers with a 13-2 surge over the last 3.5 minutes. Mason trying to do it himself. Fizer comes back in with the 3 fouls. Williams stays on the floor, and he splits the defense.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with Mike James in the first half. Jamal Tinsley is a pretty good defensive player, but off the ball, he will peak periodically, and that's what allows people to cut to the basket.
O'Neal, Tinsley.
Oh.
And O'Neal gets it back. That's an indirect pass, and it leads to a career high of 41 points for Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, when it starts going, it goes in the most odd ways. That ball looked like the Pacers were going to lose, and Jermaine caught it and was able to get it up in rhythm.
And he has a dozen here in the third quarter. The first time O'Neal has hit the 40 mark in a ball game.
Bad call. Sorry.
And the ball will go back to Milwaukee. So Jermaine O'Neal scores the first 14 points of the game. You kind of knew something was going on here tonight. Ends up with 19 in the first quarter, 29 at the half. Has added a dozen more here in the third, and we still have about 4 minutes to go. Johnson gets the inside track to tip it to Tinsley. Pacers looking for their 4th straight win. Look to go to 16-13. Which would move them just a half a game behind Detroit, only a game and a half behind Cleveland. Tinsley passes it off to Curry, who finds O'Neal. Swish.
Well, that's team basketball by Michael Curry, who can shoot and make that shot. But Jermaine is playing so well. He threw it to Jermaine.
Jermaine O'Neal on fire. He hears it from the crowd. 15 of 22 from the field. 43 points. And we still have 15 and a half minutes to go in the game. You hear 50?
The NBA is on Rogers Sportsnet and Raptors NBA TV. Just
begins with Pacer game night at 8. And what we're talking here is the next game on FSN Midwest, and that is the road game against Nowitzki and Dallas. Pacers have opened it up to 14 behind the behemoth performance of Jermaine O'Neal, who becomes only the 3rd Pacer in their NBA history to hit the 50 mark. Nice pass by Fizer to Mason. Reggie Miller, the all-time NBA high at 57. Billy Knight at 52 in 1980. And we'll be talking about some records. It's a Pacer all-time high in the 5 years at Conseco Fieldhouse. Reggie didn't hold that one, although he holds most of the Pacer scoring records. But his teammate in 2000, when they went to the NBA Finals, was Jalen Rose. He had 42 in a game here. So that is eclipsed by 1 by Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine is still a couple of points off the Conseco Fieldhouse high of 45. That was by
Vinsanity.
Vince Carter, also in 2000. 7 points for Tinsley, who was 1 of 8 from the floor, getting his points from the foul line. Not much of a factor in the first half, battling the issue of 3 personal fouls. Inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, backdoor Fizer to Mason.
Same play. They make the pass. They cut to the other side, set a screen. And on 2 occasions, Mason has gotten wide open.
Air Mason now making some noise. 10 of his 19 points in the third quarter. Fred Jones is open for 3. And Mike James takes it. James with Red, Mason, Hamilton, and Fizer. There is Red to fire, and he's got it. That's a 3-pointer, his first of the evening. And the Bucks cut it under double figures.
Oh, what a bad job reading. Right away, they're fronting Jermaine. If they front him right away, you got to read it and get to a spot.
Or attempt a three. Tinsley tries to run it down, undercuts Mike James, and picks up his 4th personal foul. For Jamal tonight, a little bit of demolition derby. He is all over the place.
He's had a tough day. There's no question.
But he's crashing into just about anybody in his path, so he leaves with the 4 personal fouls, and Anthony Johnson replaces him. Johnson had a fine first half, pouring in 8 points. Inside 2 minutes left in the third. The Pacers look for their first victory against the Bucks after 2 defeats. One here, one in Milwaukee, but Mike James walks in, and all of a sudden, the Bucks have found a groove. Down by 14 points moments ago. It's now 6.
You're right, Al. What they've also been able to find when Jermaine O'Neal has to work, even though he's scoring points, he's working hard. It takes a little bit away from your defense.
This time O'Neal gets back to the foul line with a little bit of a hobble after that one. Hamilton gets his 3rd personal foul.
Getting 43 points is work. And he gets knocked a little bit off balance, so I'm sure he caught himself walking. Hopefully, it is not that left foot.
Well, he's taken just about 40 shots here tonight, 22 field goal attempts, 17 from the foul line.
Some would say that's right on course.
For
some people could count your shots you're taking and including your foul shots and say you should be 50% of that, which, I mean, you should. So if you do that and you say you're getting 2 points apiece, you'd be right about 40.
The good news for the Pacers, Jonathan Bender now looking at Saturday at Dallas for his return. And Jonathan feels that he is as healthy as he has been, his knees, since his high school days. Getting the long rest and rehab of 6 weeks to try to put this all behind him. The problems he's had with both the left and the right knees. Only played a couple of games this season, and last one was mid-November. But the Pacers now feel they have a strong 9-player rotation, and that's without Bender, without Steven Jackson, and without Scott Pollard. And for Jackson, he's out 10 more games after tonight, so for Steven, the end in sight. Tonight is the 20th game he has missed because of the suspension.
Yeah, but I think the difference might be Jonathan is a difference maker. There's some guys that you can put on the floor, they'll be on the floor, but Jonathan does things that nobody else can do, and that would be a bit disruptive, but that's one you may be willing to disrupt your team for in terms of his chemistry.
Right now, Pacers cannot stop Desmond Mason. He had 21 the last game here at Conseco Fieldhouse, and he has matched that with 13 minutes still left in this one, and the Bucks have squeezed to within 6.
Should have Jermaine open on that side.
There he goes, and draws another foul.
He would like to get some free looks. He's getting himself. He's in good position.
It is on Pfizer, his 4th.
Now you can see Pfizer really doesn't have a chance, and all he can do is fouling. And Jermaine is disappointed because he knows he's got it right there at the backboard and wasn't able to control the ball and get it in.
15 of 19, career highs in both categories from the foul line. Made and taken. And for the first time in his career, has hit the 20 mark in foul shots attempted in a ball game. He is on his way to the first 50-point game for a Pacer since 1992. Dozen years. He is 3 points shy of that. A big 47 for number 7 in the final minute of the third quarter. In just his 5th game back, O'Neal looking to make Pacer history tonight. And that one is whistled down. It is called on Michael Curry. Gets his 2nd personal foul. Jermaine will have to wait for the 4th quarter. He hears it from the crowd. Standing ovation for Jermaine O'Neal. 47 points through 3 quarters. Meanwhile, back at the other foul line, Zendon Hamilton has his first point of the night, playing for his 6th team, and he swishes in from the foul line. So a brief rest for O'Neal.
I read it. This is a zone, and I don't think the Pacers read it very effectively.
Crozier, who checked in for O'Neal, 5 to shoot over Pfizer. And the long rebound goes to James. Final shot for Milwaukee as they once again turn it into a game. Looked like the Pacers had them about 4 or 5 minutes ago. James, the hard drive, and he hits it at the buzzer.
But that's a tough shot. But the Pacers still can't get much space, Al.
The Milwaukee Bucks shave 10 points off the 14-point deficit. And it's a 4-point game going into the 4th quarter on FSN Midwest. In the field, 17 of 21 from the foul line. 47-point explosion. But his team has been outscored 15-5 over the last 4 minutes, nearly erasing a 14-point lead over a very game Milwaukee Bucks team. Harrison, the replacement, is in, and now Milwaukee has a chance to shave the lead even more. Pacers led 78-64 with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd. And with a big lead, and O'Neal's scoring, skying to 47. Milwaukee able to find the seam and take advantage. Anthony Johnson, the foul, that is his 2nd. And it's Mike James to the foul line. James was the catalyst in the Bucks' victory in Milwaukee, coming off the bench with 16, including 3 3-pointers. And he's sharing the floor now with Eric Strickland, Kendall Gill, Marcus Pfizer, and Zendon Hamilton. Pacers also at this point going to the bench. Michael Redd getting a rest, 15 points tonight, looking for the stretch drive. He dominated that in the first game here, scoring Milwaukee's last 9 points to outlast the Pacers by 3. Fred Jones gets the step. And that one, just thinking about it, along the outside of the rim. But Fred will have a couple of foul shots to get those points. Hamilton has another foul. Personal foul machine here tonight. He has 4 personal fouls in 9 minutes. Fred gets a break. He missed 5 of his 8 foul shots in New Jersey on Thursday. And that's after a stretch in which he had hit 29 of 30. And after that shooting performance from the line in Jersey, his foul shooting percentage for the year went from 91% to 86%. Still admirable. Kendall Gill, baseline. James, a 3-point threat. Harrison moving Hamilton out of the way. It's something Harrison said he's got to be working on. Those defensive rebounds, and all 7 feet, 280 pounds, went to work on that one.
Did a nice job keeping Zendon Hamilton from getting what would have been an easy basket had he gotten the rebound.
Some daylight for Crozier, but he can't complete it. And here are the Bucks on the run again. Strickland comes fresh off the bench. Hamilton, a wild drive. Zendon having one of those nights.
Well, on the layup, you might have been able to get off the glass to the rim.
Reggie is open. He shoots. And the Pacers have gone cold against the Bucks, who have lost their starting center, Dan Gadzarich, who has been a thorn in the side of the Pacers in the first 2 games of this series. Strickland dumps it off to Hamilton, and he is tied up by Harrison. So Hamilton winds up on his back and now will jump against David Harrison, who has gotten in his face here tonight.
You see right here, Strickland makes a move, and then Hamilton comes, and the ball comes right into the face, if you will, of David Harrison. He almost had to protect himself to get that jump ball.
And before the refs could make the call, there were 6 thumbs in the air. 3 Pacers helping them out. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Once again, it's a struggle for the Pacers against Milwaukee. Strickland goes himself. There's Hamilton in a crowd of Pacers and gives Milwaukee another possession. Pfizer, no. Ripped down by Crozier. Watch out. He throws it away. James zigging and zagging. Strickland tries again for 3, and he's got it.
Well, they got enough looks at it. That's why Rick Carlisle's going to take a timeout. He's got to get this group to get themselves focused again.
Offensive rebound and a throwaway by Crozier. And the Bucks with the 3 move to within 2. From the Pacers' third 50-point ball game ever in their NBA history. Reggie trying to find the mark. There's going to be a foul on Milwaukee here.
Sending Hamilton holding. At that time, he was holding David Harrison.
This is it, personal foul. 2 of the Bucks.
And this is what Jermaine O'Neal is chasing in the Pacer record book. All-time high, 92. Reggie Miller, Billy Knight, 52. In 1980, there's been 2 50-point games this year in the NBA. Allen Iverson with 54. And Jermaine O'Neal is now 5 points away from that. And Iverson also did it against the Bucks. And Amari Stoudemire just with a 50-point night. So Jermaine now 1 point away from becoming the 3rd 50-pointer. And Pacers know how Eric Strickland, when he gets it going, and what got him going were Pacer miscues when he hit the 3 moments ago. 8.5 remaining, and the Pacers certainly don't want to waste this effort by Jermaine O'Neal. Tinsley for 3, got it.
And that's usually how it goes with Jamal. Kind of out of the offense, out of sync, out of everything, and then knocks down a big bucket.
And that's the first 3 the Pacers have hit after missing 10 tonight. Strickland, watched by Fred Jones, works behind Jermaine O'Neal, and Hamilton cannot hold on to it. So Indiana will have the ball as Hamilton may be thinking of just sitting there and watching from the stands. A rough stint for Hamilton. 5 personal fouls. He continues on. But they're now being called to the bench by Terry Porter. Jeff Foster checks in for Indiana. So Pacers now have Tinsley and Miller in the backcourt, O'Neal, Foster, and Fred Jones up front.
They're going with an experienced group on the floor.
Miller with the fake, running to the basket and rattling the rim.
Yeah, because he took some of the pressure off of Jermaine. To come back in the game, they have to be the central focus of the offense now. It's something that's going to be hard to do. Jermaine's got to kind of work himself back into that.
Oh, Pfizer gets an open look and cans it. 11 points for Pfizer. He's averaging 5 points a game, but his eyes light up when he faces the Pacers. Even as a Chicago Bull, some of his best games against Indiana. Reggie Miller, and there's Foster walking in. Gets fouled by Pachulia, as Foster, I think, was figuring he was going to hit a little harder, so soft approach to the basket. And now we'll have to get it from the foul line. So Pachulia has number 5. Hamilton also with 5, and the Bucks without Gadzarich.
Well, watch Pachulia steps there, and then what Jeff does is really good, is he makes sure that he initiates the contact to Pachulia. Now he just needs to knock down the foul shot.
16 points, 16 rebounds against the Nets on Thursday night. His 7th double-double. 3 of 5 from the line this evening. He has 7 double-doubles in 11 games. Last year, in the full 82 games, had 8 double-doubles. Comes back to hit the second shot. 6 points tonight for Foster. 6 rebounds, a double single at this point, but still 7 minutes to go. More than enough time.
New lingo, double single. Where we had a hamburger vendor or something, a double single.
Well, I would say he's working on that, but that's what he has. Foul there on Fred Jones. So Fred has his 3rd personal foul. Pacers with 2 team fouls, the Bucks with 3. 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and these 2 teams again grinding it out. 9 and 18 Bucks, and they get Michael Redd on the floor for the finish. 17 for Redd. First game here, he had 28, including the final 9 coming in a span of 1 minute 15 seconds. They go to O'Neal. He turns, he fires, gets his own rebound, and that's 51 points for Jermaine O'Neal, and the crowd responds. The first time they have ever put that up on the Conseco Fieldhouse scoreboard.
And right now, given that, and that's the given, the win, the W is the next thing Jermaine is interested in.
Standing ovation continues as Tinsley with a pick.
Good, and you know what? You don't see Jamal do this very often, but he made a wise choice. Not enough people out to help him. Just take it slow.
And it will be Indiana ball. Tinsley wants the foul, and Jermaine O'Neal will hear it from the crowd with this timeout. Becomes the first Pacer since 1992 in 12 seasons to surpass the in that special group this year. And here's just a few of his delights here tonight.
You know, other than the fact that, you know, we've kept up with it, it hasn't been something that you would think it'd be, you know, it hasn't come that often in a lot of ways.
In the flow of the game.
Yeah, definitely in the flow.
Passes that one up, 4 on the shot clock. Jones is there, and he's got it. It's a 3-pointer.
And Jermaine gets an assist out of that. Now, we have to work on his assist numbers now.
Jermaine O'Neal, 51 points, 10 rebounds. He's 7 assists shy now of a triple-double. Well, he's done it in 32 minutes and has taken 25 shots. He's hit 17, but getting to the foul line 21 times, hitting 17 of those. Reggie Miller upset at himself. He's thinking that's what I would do to my opponent, and he suckered me into it. So he knows Michael Redd has been watching the Reggie Miller tapes. And Redd doesn't leave many points at the foul line. 5 of 5 tonight. Terry Porter encouraging his team. Playing their 4th game in 7 on the road. Looking for the split with the other win in Orlando. The losses in Houston and Dallas. 98-91. Bucks trying to hang in there despite the outburst from Jermaine O'Neal. Tinsley off the mark, but he knew where it was going. Stays with it with Michael Redd.
He's out of bounds. When Tinsley got the ball after it was deflected, he caught it, but he was out of bounds. And he was going to make a good pass. He just couldn't get it by Michael Redd.
Coming down to 5 minutes left in this ball game. It's the getaway game for Indiana. Actually a pit stop. 2 wins on the road in Charlotte and New Jersey. Here for 1 game before a 4-game road trip and a tough one in San Antonio, Dallas, Phoenix, and Memphis. Pacers will play 7 of their next 9 on the road after this one tonight. Looking for their 16th win against 13 defeats. Looking to move a half game behind Detroit and just a game and a half behind Cleveland in the Central Division. O'Neal against Joe Smith. He makes the fading, and Foster runs that one down.
Jeff Foster just gives people fits. Pachulia really can't keep Jeff from getting a rebound. Oh, he missed it. Fred was wide open on the lob.
10 seconds still to shoot. Tinsley in traffic. The 3 fading away. Swish! Jamal Tinsley with a crushing 3. And the Pacers hit 101 and now lead by double figures. And all of a sudden, Jamal Tinsley with 13 points. They've all come in the second half, and he's got that one. 4 minutes and counting. And have the Pacers finally worn down this game Buck ball club. O'Neal looks for some more. He fades and he hits. Jermaine O'Neal. The total climbs to 53.
I mean, this is, I don't know about for you, but for me, this is impressive to watch it.
Tonight, Jermaine O'Neal is on the loose.
I'd say
53 points. He is 4 shy of the franchise all-time NBA record held by Reggie Miller back in 1992, 57. And the Pacers have opened up a 12-point lead, and Mason finally misses, grabbed by O'Neal. 53-11. 2 more points. He has the highest total in the NBA this year, surpassing Iverson's 54. Backdoor, here's O'Neal, but he'll have to get those from the foul line.
Good play, though. Basketball play. You know, Fred Jones can really do that. On the fly, will really make good plays. Jermaine thought he was going to have an easy basket. I mean, it's a back cut, and Fred Jones, alert, gets himself open, catches the pass, and he sees the help coming, gets it to Jermaine, and Joe Smith just fouls Jermaine.
Reggie Miller, 57 points in 1992, the all-time franchise record going back to the ABA. George McGinnis had 58 back in 1977. And also, how about this game for Mel Daniels in the ABA at a night where he had 56 points and 31 rebounds. And O'Neal makes 1 of 2 from the foul line. So he sits at 54. Jermaine O'Neal in just his 5th game back from the suspension, making a statement that the Indiana Pacers, going through all their trials and tribulations this year, and even without Ron Artest for the rest of the season, will be a team on the move, not only in the Central Division and the East, but still have their eye on winning a championship.
Sure do. And all the healthy bodies back. Get people playing them their normal minutes in their normal position.
Pacers starting to shift into gear. And you could get into the program with a stretch run 5-game ticket package. It's now available. Each package contains 2 tickets to 5 Pacer games, and you can see LeBron James and Shaq.
And Dwayne Wade with Shaq.
And Jermaine O'Neal. Jones. Wow, that's a shin breaker, that pass. So the Pacers right now feel a little more comfortable about things, game-wise, riding the massive shoulders of Jermaine O'Neal, who has done all of this in 35 minutes. That's about what he plays anyway. This is his 13th game of the year and his 5th since the suspension. Jermaine O'Neal, hard drive, and back to the foul line he goes. He's taken more foul shots in this game than any player in the NBA this year. And now to the line for numbers 24 and 25. That's a good week's worth. The foul line, even for Jermaine.
That'll wear you out. I mean, that alone.
Well, he's worn out my scorecard. I've actually moved into the Michael Curry boxes underneath Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, you think Michael Curry will have some room?
Michael wasn't using them tonight. Joe Smith now sits down. He gets his 6th personal foul. But Jermaine O'Neal from the start. Pacers went to him initially against the Milwaukee Buck front wall, if you can call it that. And Gadzarich getting the back spasm, so Milwaukee certainly even more susceptible than usual inside. And Jermaine O'Neal missed the first 2 outings against the Bucks, which Milwaukee won, and making up for some lost time and showing the Bucks there's a reason they won those 2 games. Jermaine O'Neal was out. Now a 20-second timeout taken by Milwaukee. And Jermaine O'Neal still looking to write the conclusion to this historic night. 55 points and counting. And right now, with 2:26 to go, looks like a good shot of establishing the Pacers' all-time single-game high. And you're watching it tonight here on FSN Midwest, along with the fans at Conseco Fieldhouse. This is what's on tap for the Pacers on FSN Midwest, brought to you by Corona. We will be in Dallas on Saturday, 8 o'clock with the pregame show. Then home against Phoenix a week from Friday at 6:30. And Orlando the next night, 7:30, back-to-back Friday and Saturday nights. Those times are the pregame with Stacey Pates. All right, Jermaine O'Neal, back to the adventure. Pacers have just about sewn this one up. Now it's all a matter of how Jermaine O'Neal sews it up in the final 2:26.
He's got a lot of people pulling for him because he missed that foul shot, and you could hear a collective,
Nothing like sitting in history. James Mason lets it fly, and Petrulia bangs it out, but in the hands of Tinsley, who's had the quick hands here tonight, especially in the second half. Jamal, in that first half, had no points. He now looks for numbers 14 and 15.
Well, he'll be the only other person in double figures, if you will, for the Pacers.
Does it in a hurry in the second half. He had 15 points, 7 assists against the Nets, going back home to the New York metropolitan area on Thursday. Foster another rebound, making his way towards the double figures rebound. Is just one shy. 9 and 5 on the offensive boards. Tinsley tonight, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Al,
yeah.
Hold on. What was that? Was that to ensure that Jermaine doesn't get another shot? I mean, why would he just grab his arm? I mean, I'm asking you.
Take it back. I was looking at Jermaine's scoring here at the time. With the dead ball.
Never mind.
With the dead ball.
Never mind.
You want to take us through that one more time?
No. The ball comes off the rim. Jeff Foster grabs the rebound, and as he's getting ready to throw the ball to restart the offense, Michael Redd just grabs him and fouls him. Just grabs his arm.
Yeah, maybe they had the opportunity. And now, part of this celebration of the reduction of his suspension and 4 days off. And the Pacers getting some practice time in, and there is the play on Foster.
Yeah, that one, that's got to be let's not get into Jermaine kind of play there.
Strategic foul by Michael Redd, always thinking.
Always thinking.
Redd is 19, Mason with 21. The Bucks will fall to 9 and 19, 10 under the 500 mark. They have injury issues of their own. Looking for Keith Van Horn to return, but that looks to be another 2 weeks, and we'll get word next week on TJ Ford, although even if he does return, should not really be a factor and would come back later in the season. That nothing more than setting up perhaps next year. Well, James goes coast to coast. Pacers don't want to waste any time. A little more time for Jermaine to score some more points. And now somebody called the timeout, says Tim Donaghy, with Tinsley being trapped. And it's a full timeout. Pacers have 1 remaining. We slide inside the final 2 minutes. O'Neal with 55. The Pacers with 108. 14 points ahead of the Bucks. The field goal away from tying it. I think the perfect thing, and both players would agree, if Jermaine O'Neal doesn't surpass it but tie it, and they'd be in the record book together with 57. 1:54 to go. And the Pacers have the basketball. They have several possessions still remaining, and they'll be looking for Jermaine O'Neal. Tinsley, Fred Jones looking for O'Neal, who's at the top of the key. There he goes. O'Neal from the outside. He fires. He thought he had it. Foster, another rebound. And he gets his 10th of the evening, and that's 6 on the offensive boards, and you could see the work he's been doing inside underneath that left eye.
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal just asked out. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he realized he wasn't playing the game the way you need to play it. And this is a really smart move by him, and he definitely deserves a standing ovation because it was a heck of an outing for a guy to play the way he did. I have to even give him a little standing ovation because I'm telling you, to get 50 and not look like you're getting 50 is impressive.
He does it in 36 minutes. And he also leaves 2 points shy of his hero, Reggie Miller, and you wonder if that had anything to do with it.
Well, he missed when he took the shot. He didn't take the shot the way you normally take it. You know what I mean? Like really step into it and take it. And as soon as he did it, he just turned around to Rick Carlisle and he asked out because it's like, you know, what am I doing here? The game's over. You know, this is enough. And so to his credit, you may be absolutely right about his hero, Reggie. I wouldn't disagree with that. But the fact that he recognized, I'm not playing basketball here. I'm trying to score points. This doesn't make any sense.
Foster gets the double-double, Quinn. He said, don't count him out.
Yeah, you're right.
And Jermaine O'Neal on his greatest night in his 9 seasons as a pro. High school player, 4 years sitting on the bench in Portland, traded to Indiana for Dale Davis, and he becomes the 3rd pacer in NBA history, moves beyond Billy Knight, just 2 points. Reggie Miller still has the all-time record. I think a lot of fans are kind of happy to see that also, that Jermaine picked up his big night, but Reggie still stays on top with 57. And Jermaine hearing it from the crowd. But a night to remember. Everybody sitting in on some Pacer history. First time since Reggie did it in 1992. As the Pacer hit for 50.
Al, you're absolutely right. I mean, the fans wouldn't budge. I mean, even though the game has pretty much been decided, they were all sitting here waiting to see if they were going to see another, you know, if you will, historic point total, get to 60.
Well, he came out. They went to O'Neal immediately. He scored his 5 first field goal attempts. Had the Pacers' first 14 points. At one point, it was 14-12 Indiana. Jermaine had all 14. He had 19 at the end of the first quarter, 29 at halftime. He had 47 after 3, adding 18 points in the third quarter and 8 more in the fourth. 55 points for Jermaine O'Neal.
1-7 we go, man.
Crozier will get one more. This week, NFC playoffs begin on Fox. Vikings head to Lambeau to face Brett Favre and the Packers. NFC Wild Card begins with America's #1 pregame show Sunday at 4 Eastern. And that's in Fox Sports high definition. Quiet night for Crozier when you consider in front of him was Jermaine O'Neal. But from that position tonight, the Pacers do have 59 points.
Yeah, exactly. I also can say that between Jermaine and I scored 59 points in the win against Milwaukee. Jermaine just happened to have 55 of them.
And Milwaukee, game performance, but running out of gas here in the fourth quarter. Pacers are piling it on with 112 here tonight as we come down to the final minute of this ball game. Pacers will go to 16-13 and move just a half game.